Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the -4 podcast. I am Cillian Ferry, and tonight with me, he's in the run for first place, but he's got no knees. It's Aidan Ferry.
Hey.
Next up, he's won Rear of the Year 2017 and is fighting to stay away from it this season. It's Paddy Gribben.
Hey.
John McGain's got nothing on my arse. Just saying.
He works for TG Keher, but this week will it be TG minus Keher? It's Darren.
Hey.
Very good.
And the man looks like Jesus, but as well as team show some divine intuition, it's Ray Lafferty.
Hello.
Brilliant,
Super
brilliant.
hot fire.
Thank you, Cillian. Thank you. Welcome back,
That was
everyone, to episode 7 of the -4 FPL podcast. With myself, Aidan, joined here by the full complement again, Darren, Ryan, Cillian, and Patrick. We'll be discussing everything from how our teams got on, any players that stood out to us. I know a lot of us would have wildcarded, but I know a lot will be wildcarding this week, especially with all the injuries. So yeah, we'll just take us through how our teams got on, any transfer plans, and then some cheeky picks. So we'll start off from top to bottom, I suppose. We'll start off with my own team here. So I was quite disappointed. I know it's 62 points, but coming off a wild card, I was expecting a little bit more. So we have Pope with 2 points, Cancelo with 9 points, Trippier with 5, Emerson coming off the bench with 10 seconds to go, picking up 1 point, Kevin De Bruyne with a masterclass of 10 points, Martinelli another blank with 3, Bowen another blank. So I bought him and Madison in on the wild card. Bowen with 2 points, Madison with 7, which I was delighted about. Isak with 9, which I was chuffed about until he ended up getting injured during the international break. So something to keep an eye on, whether he'll be out long term or whether it'll just be a couple of weeks. So fingers crossed. Haaland was my captain, with 6 points, doubled to 12, and Mitrovic, for the first time in a long time, actually blanked. So overall, not too disappointed, but it could have been a lot better. Bournemouth scoring that 1 goal kind of wiped out what could have been around a 70-point game week. Bowen missed a sitter or two, and obviously Emerson just got that one completely wrong. Thought he was kind of nailed on to be a starter, so it's like off a wild card, you're probably looking for a bit more than 62 points, but overall, I'm kind of happy with the next run of 4 or 5 games coming up. So I think I was more looking towards the future than just game week 8, but hopefully it can get a little bit better. So yeah, like Isak being injured obviously is a big one. Whether I transfer him out or not, I really don't know. There's no other real 7 million attackers there.
I have a suggestion. Maybe I should save it for the cheeky pick section, though.
I know exactly who you're going to say.
I know who he's going to say as well.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I know exactly. He's going to say Dominic Solanke, isn't he?
No. Well, who would I suggest him?
No.
See that creepy old smile on your face.
Fuck you, man. I'm not going to what do you call it? Suggest Dominic Solanke. Although Bournemouth do have the best fixtures. I was going to suggest someone else, but I suppose we'll get to that in the cheeky pick section.
Yeah, that'll do. So that was my team anyway, 62 points.
That was Kiefer Moore, isn't it?
Definitely not the best score of the game week between us all, but not the worst either. So next on the list here we have Jota Have Faith, Mr. Ryan Lafferty here, if you want to take us through your team, Ryan.
Hello again. I've been gone for a while, but I am back. I also used my wild card, and I ended up getting 76 points. I think it was the highest. Darren might have been up there as well, I think. But I had Pope in nets for 2. Nathan Patterson got me 6. Cancelo got me, although he's out injured now until God knows when. Cancelo with 9. Perisic probably should have had more points than he did. He got an assist, then he got a -1 for conceding the 2 goals, and then he came onto the pitch when Son scored, so he got a yellow card, so he went down to 2 points, which was really annoying. Brought in Saliba, he got 15, which was great. Martinelli and Bailey both with 3, De Bruyne with 10, Mitrovic with a 2, Haaland got me a 6, and I captained Isak, and he got me a lovely 18 points. Although he's injured now as well, so I mean that's not too good. But yeah, no, I was happy with it. I think that's my best week so far, and hopefully it goes up from here on out.
I'm just spotting the 3 injuries on your team there, Ryan. What's the
sad
story with them? Are you going to have a complete shake-up, or are you going to just bench some of them?
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking of a free hit, but I might, because I have like a load of conflicting fixtures, and I had the team nice and ready for this week, even with the fixtures conflicting and stuff with a lot of the players. I had the perfect team picked, and then Patterson went and got injured, Isak went and got injured. Maximan's probably still going to be out. I mean, he could be back, but I doubt it.
I'm hearing he's going to be out of the weekend as well.
Oh, okay.
From what I've heard from the Newcastle sources, they were saying I think Isak was like possibly a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And Maximan is looking like he won't play, but God knows.
But yeah, no, them 3 are out now. Well, Ken and you, Maximan would probably still be out. I'm just keeping him on my bench for the time being. I've actually already made a sub. I got a new striker in, but you'll find that out later on. Someone who I thought played very well in the last game week, and I think can do some bits with a few fixtures coming up. Patterson was a big one, I think, for me losing him, because he's been class all season, and Everton played very well against West Ham, and he had a great game. He probably could have got bonus points as well, but I mean, I'll take a 76. It's got me 1 point behind Aidan now up at the top, so I mean, it's looking good for me for the end of the year so far, so I don't have to buy anyone a meal or anything just yet.
Captain and Isaac is a great shout, Ryan. Can I just congratulate you on that?
Yeah, I was between him and Mitrovic, because Mitrovic had who was at Nottingham Forest they had, and I was between the two of them, and I just went with Isak in the end. I thought I just felt like he was going to do something, and he did.
Unbelievable how Fulham can score 3 goals against Nottingham Forest, but
and Palhinha scores one of them.
Cillian's number 1 since day 1. Not really.
Outrageous shit.
But yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Ryan. Next one is Mr. Patrick Ribbon. So fresh, so clean. Take us through your game week 8 team there.
Yeah, this was a wild card as well. So Pope in goal and Trippier doubling up Newcastle defence. And then had Cancelo and Perisic as well in the back 3. I have De Bruyne, Martinelli, Ward-Prowse and Bailey. So only De Bruyne scoring in my midfield, but he did get 10 points, which isn't bad. And then Haaland captain, Harry Kane and Mitrovic. So a real big, you could call this the threemium, threemium wild card. I've got 3 premium boys. I've got De Bruyne, Haaland and Kane. Just because I think fixtures be damned, these boys are the ones who are, the 3 best players in the Premier League at the minute. So
sounded like a pirate there for a second.
You're be damned.
Be damned. These guys, there's a few boys on my team who are kind of meh. I did have Patterson on my bench though for 6 points, which was annoying, and he's injured now, so not great.
Just to come in there, Patrick.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think having them 3 big players up top, that's kind of maybe your midfield is lacking a bit because of that?
I guess I've still got Martinelli though. He's a bit of a gem, and Ward-Prowse. I've actually got a wee cheeky pick which I'm considering swapping Ward-Prowse for, not this week but next week. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Just I've got no depth really. Well, I suppose Nico Williams as well on my bench is someone who can play, who I probably am going to start this week.
You just have to hope that Forest stop shipping goals left, right and centre.
Yeah, they are playing Leicester.
Nico Williams would be such a unbelievable threat. Like he's a good threat going forward anyway. But the bread and butter for defenders is the 6 clean sheet points, and then anything else after that's a bonus. But
Yeah, literally.
he just hasn't been delivering those at all. So like, it's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, no, I got 59 points though, so similar to you, Dan. Not bad. Could have been better.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle of the road. So it's at least it's not on the worst side of things. At least a small green arrow is a green arrow nonetheless. So we'll take them. Darren, we'll move on to you next. 70 points. That's a nice fat score coming off a wild card as well. So you want to take us through your team there?
Yeah, definitely. Same as yourselves. I wildcarded, and like Ryan said, it was definitely my highest score so far in fantasy. So I was very happy with it. I had Pope and Nets, got me 2, and then Saliba, which was
Saliba's the best.
it was the pick of my wild card, to be honest, like 15 points. So I mean that just bumped me up big time. Cancelo for 9, Trippier for 5, Perisic for 2, and then Andres for 1, De Bruyne in the middle for 10, Martinelli with 3, and then I had Isaac, Haaland, and Mitrovic, and Haaland captained for 12 points, Isaac for 9, and Mitrovic for 2. So yeah, I was really happy with it. And the thing that stands out for me, I suppose, with that wild card, because I didn't spend a lot of money in places, I have Rashford and Zaha on the bench, and I have 1.9 million in the bank. So it kind of does allow me to play around a wee bit, considering Isaac is injured, and either maybe bring in a better striker or a better midfielder for game week 9.
Actually, I see Wilfred Zaha on your bench there. He is a player that I've been considering myself a lot.
Same.
His run of fixtures after the Chelsea game are green as far as the eye can see in terms of difficulty. So he'd be, for like seeing as how he's carrying the team so far, he's definitely someone that I'll if not bring in, then he's definitely on my mind.
Yeah, like I mean, he's one of them players. I feel like he's just really hot and cold. Sometimes when he is hot, he's class. Like we've mentioned that a lot of times on here. But I mean, the likes of like he could turn up against Chelsea and score a couple of goals. You would know. The only thing I am concerned about, I suppose, with the team is obviously the Manchester derby at the weekend. I'm obviously going to be supporting United. I have 3 City players, and I don't know how that's going to go.
Are you going to start Rashford in that one?
Well, that's actually a good question because he's carrying a knock, I think, so I'm not sure whether he's going to be fit to play or not, but I nearly would take a chance and start him. But yeah, I'll see.
Those derbies are always so interesting, aren't they? They're like, I don't know, the only way I can see that game going is if United can keep it 0-0 and nick a goal, or City win 5-0.
I think United will score. I have faith in them.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think they will. I can see it being one of them 3-2 kind of classic derbies, the way the two teams are going at the moment. But I don't know. We'll see.
It would be nice in terms of a neutral to get that sort of a thing as well.
Like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fact. Anyways, last but certainly not least, Mr. Cillian Ferry and his wild picks.
Hello.
Take us through your team, please, Cillian.
Yes, so I didn't have the best week this week, but that's because I had one player less this week. I didn't wildcard. I kind of just took the bullet of not having a full squad. And I didn't do terrible. Again, 56 isn't a terrible score, but I suppose if I had that extra player, who knows what it could have been. I had Henderson in goals. I had Jansen, of course. I had Trippier captain. So I was happy enough. He got an assist, wasn't it? Got a few points off him. Palinha.
Worldy.
Oh boy. He got me cheeky wee points as well. Jensen, I had Saka, De Bruyne, I had Mitrovic, Jesus and Haaland. Obviously, De Bruyne and Saka and Haaland kind of get me a good wee boost there. Jesus played alright as well. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. Of course, Palinha got sent off after he... or he didn't get sent off. He got all his yellow cards then, so he's like not usable now for another week or two. But
Yeah, he has 5 yellow cards, which means
yeah,
like an automatic 1 game, so he'll be back
but
after a week.
at least he left in style though.
Yeah, true. It was a
don't.
screamer too, and as soon as that goal went in, I just thought of Cillian straight away.
I was in work. I was like, it was just breaking my shit laughing behind the bar.
He's definitely going to break his season goal scoring record now. At this point, he's going to smash
think
it.
What is it, 3?
I think he did after the
3.
first goal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Captain next weekend.
No, not to. Well, sure, he's not back until he's not back for another 2 weeks. So.
That makes no sense. I haven't been paying attention. Sorry.
Sure,
Carry
captain him anyway. See what happens.
Yeah, again, like I didn't have enough subs to switch in. I had Cash, but Cash was out injured, so I didn't have enough. I didn't want to do the wild card because I thought my team, like, it's 1 week and it was 1 player's worth missed. I thought it was okay. I could pull through it all right. I know Darren kind of pulled away from me there. I was getting very close to passing out Darren. I think I was on 14 points at the end of last week, and obviously he blew away this week. But no, I'm kind of looking towards next week now with a bit more. I suppose.
Do you regret not doing the wild card, Cillian? Or
I don't. I actually don't, because like the team that I have now, I'm really happy with the team. I was chatting to, I think it was Patrick or Ryan last week, and I was just saying that I'm really happy with
It was me,
the team that I have now going forward, because in my eyes it's fairly, like, I suppose, consistent across the board. All right, I have fucking Jansen and Jensen in there. They're just there to kind of
I was about to say.
kind of keep things a little bit, fresh. But as far as like the rest of my team goes, I think there's like still potential there for it to be like they'll pump out points. Like obviously Haaland and De Bruyne are just going to consistently bring in points every single week. Trippier has also been playing well. He's just like, apart from Jensen and Jansen, the points as far as my team goes have been fairly like consistent and everything. So I don't know. I don't regret doing it. Like there could be a point where I could end up like Ryan now. Is it Ryan or Darren that has the 3 injured?
Me.
It could end up having that in a few weeks' time, and if I had already used the wild card, I'd be boned for God knows how long. I have to take a good few points off just to try and get them out. So I could use it later on down the line.
I'd say, Cillian, just watch out for game week 12, because City and Arsenal, which you have a lot of their players, they're both blanking that week, so might be a good week to play it then.
That could be a good week to get the jump on everyone else, as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Cillian. So yeah, we'll take you through. I suppose we'll take you through the fixtures first for this weekend, and then we'll go through one by one, taking on board the fixtures that are happening this weekend. We'll kind of give you our transfer plans and I suppose what we're aiming for our teams based on this weekend first. Anyway, so we have Arsenal and Spurs in the early kickoff in the London Derby. I should say that the deadline is Saturday morning at 11 o'clock for anyone who doesn't know. And first game Saturday, obviously, Arsenal and Spurs. And then the 3 o'clock kickoffs are Bournemouth at home to Brentford, Crystal Palace at home to Chelsea, Fulham at home to Newcastle, Liverpool at home to Brighton, and Southampton at home to Everton, with West Ham at home to Wolves being the 5:30 or the evening fixture. On Sunday morning, then Sunday afternoon, we have the Manchester Derby, City at home to United, and then in the Sunday evening game at 4:30, we have Leeds at home to Aston Villa, and then with one game on Monday night being Leicester at home to Nottingham Forest, which is a game that I'll be looking at with great interest. So I suppose in terms of my team, the way I'll be lining up this weekend probably looks as follows. It's between Pope away to Fulham and Danny Ward at home to Nottingham Forest.
Easy decision.
With Mitrovic in my team, I don't know if I want to double up on Newcastle defenders, but we'll see. So we'll probably end up just going with Cancelo, Trippier, James, Emerson, De Bruyne, Martinelli, Bowen, Maddison, and Haaland and Mitrovic as it stands, with Pope, Nico Williams, Andres and Isak on the bench. So I have one transfer to play with, obviously, after the wild card. So my only, I suppose, I'll be waiting on the Isak news to see how long he may be out for. And if he is out for a prolonged period of time, then I'll probably have to switch him out. But as it stands, I'll probably just roll that transfer. My only other inkling really is to check on maybe the West Ham forums as to where Emerson sits in the starting team, because
It's the left back on the bench, man.
Yeah.
literally, it's a joke.
Get on to David Moyes there. Moyes, see what he says.
He played every game since he came, essentially, and then the only game I get him in is the game he just decides to chuck Cresswell in.
Cresswell's the main man. Like, come on.
Cresswell had a stinker.
He's class.
He played shite.
He was awful, yeah.
No one's got a better left foot in the league than Cresswell.
But you see what they were doing? West Ham were playing a 3 at the back with Soufal and Emerson being the wing backs, and they were playing brilliantly. They used it in Europe a few times, and fair enough, there's a few teething problems, but I thought they were playing brilliantly in that system. And then Moisey decides to just be David Moyes and just revert everything back to his old favourites again. So I'll see where he stands in the team, and I suppose with the fans and all that, and we'll see if I have to take him out, but it'll have to be for another 4 million defender, and I don't think there's many gems in that 4 million category these days.
Nathan Patterson's good, but he's injured.
Yeah, exactly.
You are nothing, you're a fool, and you're a waste of time, to quote a wise man about Moisey.
Sounded Scottish there. What the fuck was that?
I can't do accents. I can't do accents, man. I'm not even going to try.
It's alright, man.
Yeah, so if I was to do anything, it would probably be Emerson to 4 million defender, and I don't know if I could be arsed doing that. I may just roll the transfer and see.
I wouldn't bother.
Yeah,
sideways
and then in
move.
terms, yeah, exactly. Here you're kind of just like I could just sub in Andres Pereira and just play it that way. Or I could take on Nico Williams against Leicester. So I have a good few options there, which is nice. And in terms then of like, you know, a cheeky pick or something like that, like somewhere something outside the box. In terms of an obvious pick, I would go with Wilfred Zaha. I know a lot of people are probably looking at him, but in terms of a cheeky pick, I think one who could do brilliantly over the next 3 or 4 weeks is Harvey Barnes. I think he's a lad that's been threatening for a while now, and the way Leicester, you see, you know, like they're showing signs of playing good ball, but it's just their defense really isn't helping them out at all. But
And Danny Ward's awful.
Exactly. So, but Harvey Barnes, definitely him linking up with Maddison, who's been right on form for a good chunk of this season. I think he could do very nicely. I won't be bringing him in myself because I already have Maddison, so I don't want to really double up on them myself.
Go on, bring him in, go on.
Yeah, if I didn't have Maddison or didn't have the cash flow for Maddison, he would be my cheeky pick for the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I'll move on and to the next person here, Darren. Where's your what's your plans for this week?
My plans for this week. So I'm thinking of starting Pope and Nets, Saliba and Cancelo and Trippier. I know they're playing. I know Arsenal are playing Tottenham, but he's probably can't really take him out of the team in my opinion. And I don't really have anyone else to replace him. So, and then I'm thinking of 4 in midfield. I'm thinking Zaha, De Bruyne, Martinelli, and Rashford. And then at the moment, I have Isaac, Haaland, and Mitrovic. And the only thing that I would be thinking of changing at this stage is Isaac out and possibly Tony in. Brentford, they have, I think they have Newcastle and Bournemouth in their next 2 fixtures. Is that correct?
I'm not actually sure. But
I think it is. I think
he does have a nice run as far as I'm
aware. Yeah, they have some nice fixtures, but like yourself, I don't really want to get rid of Isaac because I know there's goals in him. But I mean, if he's 25% chance of playing, it says in my fantasy app right here. So yeah. I don't know. We'll see. And then that leaves me with Andreas, Williams, and Perisic, and some Leicester goalkeeper that no one cares about on the bench.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
was looking at Tony's fixtures there. He has Bournemouth away, Newcastle away, Brighton at home, Chelsea at home, Villa, Wolves, and Nottingham Forest. So it's probably a bit middling, all right. But Tony's one of those lads. He can do what he did a few years ago and just score a hat trick out of nowhere. So.
The only other worry I'd have, I mean, if I am subbing Isaac out for Tony, I have Rashford sitting in midfield there, and is he going to play? I don't know. Maybe I should be looking at Rashford or Sancho or something like that. But I'm not going to use my, I'm not going to take a -4, as they say. So it'll probably be Isaac for Tony at this stage.
Nice. So
yeah.
So in terms of like cheeky picks or somewhere a bit outside the box there, who would you be looking at for someone maybe on a wild card or wanted to chuck someone in there that was a bit out of the way?
Well, I was watching Ireland at the weekend. I didn't think Seamus Coleman got enough game time, so I would go for Seamus Coleman.
To be fair, he's going to be in. He's going to be in, to be fair.
He actually is going to be in there, yeah.
Oh, sure. Patterson's injured now, yeah.
Yeah. No, but honestly,
be a stroke of genius,
I don't think this is the first week I'm probably thinking I don't know really what kind of cheeky pick I'd go for. If I was to go for a cheeky pick, it would be Saha, but I have him in my team.
Yeah.
And I'm not really. No, then again, he could misfire against Chelsea, so
Scott McTominay.
No,
Scott McTominay.
Really, actually, if I was to go for someone, it would probably be Christian Eriksen. If he wasn't playing City, maybe. I do love him. I still don't have him in, but look at the few games he had with Denmark like recently. Unbelievable.
That goal was unreal, to be fair.
He is kind of playing as a CDM though, and I know like it's more. It's
Polina.
kind of. I look Polina. That's exactly the point. Yeah. CDM is the new striker.
I think that's the problem sometimes when you go for the generic, like your Madison or your Zaha all the time and they misfire, you're in trouble. But like sometimes, like Cillian done with Polina, because no one else has him, and when he does perform, you're going to be getting green arrows above other people.
Yeah,
but it's
differential.
just, are you willing to take that risk though? That's the thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I did.
0.3% pick.
Maybe I took a risk and captained him this week.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
That might be a little risk. Just
anyways,
minute.
Seeing as
you don't know.
Seeing as Ryan's being all flirty over here, I'm going to move on to him next. Ryan, take us through your plans and your cheeky.
So yeah, I've been thinking about it most of the day because I've got the 3 injuries. I was like, do I do a free hit? And I was like, is it worth it? I don't think so. I do have a lot of conflicting like fixtures, and I had like the team already, but I'm just gonna go with it. And if my thing points tank, then sure, look, it happens. Gonna go with Pope and nets anyway. I've got Reece James, Saliba, Cancelo, and Perisic in defence. This is a lot of conflict here with Saliba and Perisic, but I feel like Saliba is a good man for a header. And Arsenal are playing unreal this season as well. At midfield, I've got Leon Bailey, Kevin De Bruyne, Martinelli, and hopefully if this guy scores, I get to put in all of the spinning gorilla gifts in the world. I've got Anthony.
Oh, cheeky.
What a pick, fellas.
I've got I brought him in my wild card, but he couldn't play because they weren't playing last week. And then up front, I have Haaland and my captain Neil Maupay.
Wow.
What?
The mop?
That's ridiculous.
You always make the crowd gasp.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, going through my team and all the fixtures, Leon Bailey, if Diego Llorente starts for Leeds, I think he has a good chance of scoring because that man is probably the worst defender I've seen in the league all season. He's awful. De Bruyne, he's always, if De Bruyne, you know what you're going to get with him. Haaland, you know what you're going to get with him. Anthony, for Ajax last year, he was on fire in the Champions League and in the league, and he scored in his debut, and he has looked good for them every time he's played, so I'm hoping he can get a cheeky wee goal or assist against City. And then Neil Maupay, I was watching the Everton West Ham game. I've been watching Everton the last couple of games, and to be fair to Frank Lampard, like I was saying ages ago that he was a worse manager than Steven Gerrard, but to be honest, I don't think that's the case. He's actually got them playing really well, and I think one thing that helped them is getting Idrissa Gueye back in that team, sitting in front of that back four. He's just unbelievable. And then you've got Alex Iwobi, probably, in my opinion, the best centre mid in the league this season. I don't know where someone got the idea to play him as centre mid in a double pivot, but he is phenomenal. And then you've got that
Alex Iwobi, best centre mid in the Premier
That's-
League this season.
Where are you getting these hot takes from?
He actually has.
I've been watching it.
well.
If you've watched Everton, you'd agree with me. And then they've got that 7 foot tall man, Onana, as well,
Who's big.
who is.
He
But
terrifies me.
against West Ham, I thought they played really well. They kind of controlled most of the game. There were a few bits in the first half and second half where Jared Bowen was kind of getting at them a good bit. But yeah, and Nathan Patterson is a big miss for me as well, because I think he's been class all season. Pains me to say former Rangers player, but he is quality right back, to be fair to him. Yeah, so I think that's where my team's going, unless I take a -4 and bring in some other random player, because that's the only thing I'd probably think of doing is bring in another cheeky man. But if we're going cheeky picks, I'm going to go back to Everton again. Someone who I thought was absolutely incredible against West Ham and was unlucky not to get a goal or assist was Gray. I thought Gray was class. He's so direct, and he takes it down the line all the time. He gets loads of crosses and he'll take it inside. He's rapid. I think he's a cheeky one to get in. And to be fair to
Gray last year when Calvert-Lewin was fit was brilliant. Like, I think I got him in week 3 or 4 and he just went on like a lovely run. But that's kind of when he has a man to aim for in the box. I don't know how that's going to work with Neil Maupay, but
I know Calvert-Lewin's back for the next game as well. I'm pretty sure he's meant to be back against West Ham, but he's going to be back, so it'll be interesting. I still think Neil Maupay is going to start. Like, he scored a great goal against West Ham, and he is a proven goal scorer in the Prem. He comes up with them cheeky goals, and having him captain against a Southampton team that are kind of in the same kind of position as Everton, like they're both on 7 points. Southampton have been playing well. To be fair, they just have. I've had really bad fixtures, and poor Gavin Bazunu can't do much. But I'm going to go with Neil Maupay captain. I'm sticking with him, and if he blanks, he blanks. But sure, look, it'd be great shot if it pulls off.
Are you benching Mitrovic?
I don't have Mitrovic. That's who I took Maupay in for.
Oh, do you keep an Isaac?
Yeah.
Right.
Don't question my methods.
Mine.
I'm flabbergasted right now. I can barely speak.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on, I suppose. Thank you, Ryan. Moving on to Mr. Cillian Ferry. What's your plans, or are you just going to roll the dice again? And
no, I made a transfer anyway. My team is going to be fairly similar. I have the Liverpool boys back in, Trent, Trippier, Van Dijk, and I've transferred out cash for Fabian Schär, or Shaw, or whatever you call him, from Newcastle.
Nice.
Yeah. No particular reason why.
Fair enough.
Just
I feel like sticking with the Liverpool lads, Cillian, could be something that might actually stand out for you, because all of us literally got rid of our Liverpool players.
Yeah.
Salah captain could be a shout this week, you know.
A lot of people did.
Brighton at home, isn't it?
It's Brighton at home, yes.
Yeah.
So that could work out well. I am doubling up on the Newcastle defence. No.
Yeah. That's the danger.
Yeah. I have Gross in, but I don't know if I want to leave him in or put in Jensen, because they're playing Bournemouth, so it should be an okay chance at a match.
I'd say if I was to do it, I would probably play Jensen, but
because I don't know if Brighton are going to do much.
Yeah, new manager bounce as well. Obviously, they have a new manager, and he likes to play. Potter used to always play a 5 back, but I think this guy is strictly 4-2-3-1 from what I'm hearing. So it could definitely be a lot more attacking side of Brentford or of Brighton that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. Then all the same, I have Saka, De Bruyne, Jesus. I'm going to captain Haaland. I have Mitrovic in as well. I know I've doubled up on Newcastle defense, and it's kind of counterintuitive, but you never know.
It's not counterintuitive if Mitrovic scores. But...
Well, that's true as well. I transferred out cash. I also have Cillian, who is out for 2 weeks.
1 week, I think it's 1 week.
One more week now, yeah. But I think I'm just going to keep him, and even when he does come back, I'm just going to keep him there because he is a bit of a sleeper. He might do nothing for 2 weeks, but then, he scored a goal.
When he pulls
and
out
nobody's
the
seen it
goal,
coming.
That's all you want, especially those players that are so low owned. He's as good as that's as good as 2 goals, really.
Yeah.
Just the way you used to be back in the day, Cillian.
I'm still waiting.
Bit of a sleeper. Still is.
Snoozing on the bench. Yeah, so my bench for now is Jensen, Jansen, and Palhinha.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I just love the Jensen Johnson.
I tried to change my name, but I couldn't figure it out.
You do on the website.
There you go. Now. Lovely. Thank you, Cillian. Hopefully that works out for you. Whatever you decide to go with. Last and certainly least, Mr. Patrick, take us through your plans there, please.
Good. Yeah, sure. So I'll just bring up my team this week. So here's how it's looking currently. I've got Pope and Nets. I've got Perisic, who's playing Arsenal, in at right back. Then I've got Cancelo, I've got Trippier, and I've got Nico Williams. I've got Kevin De Bruyne and Martinelli and Ward-Prowse all starting in the midfield. And then Haaland, Kane, and Mitrovic. I'm actually pretty happy with my team, I'm not going to lie. Nico Williams, having to start him is not ideal, but just the way my team's set up, I've got 4 sort of the bargain bin players, so I'm going to have to play one of them every week. And I don't think Nico Williams against Leicester is a bad shout.
Definitely not.
He's
always one of those players who could just come up with something special.
What do you think of my approach? Going for the three medium lads, Kane, Haaland, and De Bruyne.
For me, I think. Sorry, carry on, Ethan.
You fire on first, Darren. No worries.
For me, I don't know how I feel about it. I just forgot what I was
there.
I just forgot what I was going to say. What are we talking about again?
So what's your opinion? What's your opinion, lads? Okay, so for me, sorry to interrupt everyone else. I don't have an opinion.
I am
This
feel.
is really difficult.
I am very feel.
No, what I was going to say is, having your Kane, Haaland, all the big boys, and you're going to drop points, I'd say, with the bargain players, and I don't know. I would nearly take Kane out, and try and strengthen elsewhere. That's just my opinion.
Maybe, man.
Yeah, no, I see where he's coming from, because if you go for those 2 main strikers, there's no other strikers really in that price range. So if you want to bring in, say, if Salah goes and scores a hat-trick against Brighton, what you're going to need to do is you're going to literally need to get
rid of one of them.
You're going to have to make at least two transfers, if not more, to try and get them in. So, it's brilliant if it works, but very, I suppose, inflexible if it doesn't.
Yeah, well, I've got Ward-Prowse in midfield. He's a 6.5 million midfielder. And he's quite a decent player, to be honest. He's actually the 3rd on the creativity stat in Fantasy Premier League, and he's right up there on a load of the other ones like influence and then ICT. So he is creating a lot of chances still.
What's that for? Creating blanks, is it, or?
No.
Well, he's creating the chances. It's just there's no no decent forwards put it in.
To be fair to him, though, if he gets a free kick on the edge of the box, it's a guaranteed goal. Like
That's true.
Game over, isn't
This
it?
is true.
Game over.
So in terms of cheeky picks, I'm not
Kiefer
sure.
Moore, it has to be, man.
Not Kiefer Moore. I've got two actually. So these is two.
Oh.
Not just cheeky. There are cheeky picks, but they're I think these are the next two transfers I'm going to do. So maybe a bit of spoilers here. So as I've got a forward here that I think can do well over the next few. He's called Kai Havertz for Chelsea. Scored in the last game before the international break, and he scored twice against England for Germany. 2 lovely goals. And Chelsea's fixtures are some of the best in the league, so I can't see Aubameyang shithead getting started ahead of him. So I think Havertz is a great shout, and I might just have to
When did he score? When did he score a goal last in the Premier League?
In the last match he played in.
Did he?
Yeah, look it up, Darren.
Well,
Don't come at me with stats.
That.
Don't come at me with stats.
I think he scored late against
It's
West Ham.
the stat man, Darren. You can't attack
that-
stats with.
Sorry,
that is a cheeky pick, though.
I didn't check his ICT.
Yeah, you should check.
That is a cheeky pick because
He was very creative over the break.
He was literally scored 2 bangers against England.
because he's not a striker, like, and he's been playing really bad for Chelsea this season. But if he does score, I mean, like, it's cheeky, like.
All he does is win. That's all I know. So
the only thing I can say to that is, would you pick him yourself, Patrick? Not a fucking chance. So
here, yeah, no, I said
all you're doing is trying to sabotage.
Nope.
I would never pick Havertz. The only man I know who's picked Kai Havertz is John Mack because he loves Germany.
Yeah.
I'm considering bringing him in next week for downgrading Kane.
Let's see how long you consider it.
That won't happen. I can promise you.
What's with all the hatred towards Kai Havertz?
I'll give everyone that listens to this podcast a $5 if Patrick does it, because I know he won't.
All right.
To be fair, Patrick,
Easy $5. It's worth the $5.
You give Ryan a hard time for Neil Maupay.
Yeah, did give him half as hard a time for Captain Maupay, and I'm talking about bringing in a Chelsea forward who's in form.
He's a goal scorer, man, and Kai Havertz isn't a striker, he's a midfielder.
He scored in all the games he's played in the past 2 weeks.
He's still not. That doesn't make him a striker, though.
Doesn't matter. If he scores goals, that's all I care about. Anyway.
I think it's time for a wee commercial break. Do we do them? No.
Sorry,
we have a commercial break while we fight.
I've got one more. I've got one more cheeky pick as well. This one maybe you won't berate. I'm
Romelu Lukaku next, is it?
Lukaku.
Lukaku.
No. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna bring Ward-Prowse out next week, I think, for Sinistera for Leeds, because he's in good form as well. Scored in his past 2 Premier League games, and then he scored 2 goals for Colombia coming off the bench.
So James Ward-Prowse's creativity wasn't good enough. He was just good enough for 1 week, is it?
Here, how do you pick your players if you're not based on the stats?
I closed my eyes and pointed to the screen.
Yeah, Cillian just fucking picks names out of his arse, and then they end up scoring headers from corners. Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
to be fair, I believe that.
The gift.
Anyway,
the gift of clairvoyance.
I don't go off stats. I just go off pure like gut feeling. I just pick the most random player I can think of.
I think you watch more games than me though, Ryan. So I have to rely on stats.
I only watched 1 game last week.
There has been
Not
a few
last week,
occasions
before.
where I look at players, I giggle
general,
at them
I mean.
and go, "Yeah, I'm picking him."
Cillian just has a dartboard where, like, this week's cheeky pick.
Yeah. You're not wrong, You're not wrong.
Polina's the biggest photo on the dartboard every week.
Yeah.
Hey, can we start fighting again? That was good.
He's the bullseye, man.
Someone start fighting again, man. That was good stuff.
Content, we need content.
Good content, yeah.
That's what happens when we're away from it for 2 weeks, is it?
But they are cheeky picks, to be fair, though.
Yeah.
They're
Thank
cheeky.
you. They're the definition of cheeky picks. You didn't even pick cheeky picks. You were just like,
I didn't
no.
Neil Mopes cheeky,
you
man.
did. But the other two were just like, oh, Zaha.
I was also
Well, everyone
thinking as
has-
well.
Harvey
He's not,
Barnes is a fantastic cheeky pick.
he's
Alright,
cheeky.
I'll have
Yeah.
to know.
I was thinking as well.
Kai Havertz.
He wouldn't have been called
Klaus Arce with a banjo.
he wouldn't have been called a cheeky pick at the start of the season, but after the way things have been going and the way he's responded, Son came back and scored an absolute worldly of a hat trick the last day. So he could, if he starts kicking on, I'll be kind of sad that I don't have him anymore.
Yeah, how come no one has mentioned him tonight? I
I
completely
just
went out of my
mentioned him.
mind.
Yeah,
Well, before that,
I actually
It's okay.
took him out of my team because I saw a tweet from the Newcastle or from the Spurs source that he wasn't starting, so I took him out. But yeah, that was the reason I took him out for. Well, I took him out for De Bruyne when I heard the news that he wasn't starting. But absolutely
He's
fair
back
play.
with a
They were
vengeance, like
3 unbelievable goals too. Like just one was nearly as good as the other. So he's
yeah.
he's someone that can be
someone-
easily swapped as well for a De Bruyne or something like that. You know.
someone on the pod wants a kebab, lad, so we're going to have
I
to.
want the kebab.
Yeah. I'll have you know, Cillian. Right, come on. I want my kebab. So there we go. That's why we're cutting it short. Okay.
Wow.
We're back. We're back. And we're back with our final segment being Paddy's lovely trivia round. So
Hey.
what do you have for us this week, Pat?
Okay, so it's another list.
Ugh. It's a big long list. I missed the last two. I was kind of sad.
So I have a list here of I have 8 names here, and they are the players who've scored the most hat tricks in the Premier League. And I need you to give me all 8 names, and you have 3 minutes to do it.
Okay. Which way are we going?
So I suppose I'll just go in terms of my screen here. So we have Darren, Ryan, Cillian, and myself. Okay. So Paddy, you start us off, whatever you feel.
I feel fit right now, so let's start.
All right. Whenever you're ready, mate.
All
Darren,
right,
you're
go.
Go, Darren. All right.
Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney, yeah. That's
Alan
one.
Shearer.
Alan Shearer is another, yeah.
Me?
Cillian.
Torres?
Torres, not right. Incorrect.
I'll go with Sergio Aguero.
Aguero,
thinking
correct.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Darren.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Incorrect.
Dwight York.
Incorrect.
Oh, I was between him and the other lad.
Robbie Keane?
That's a good shout.
Incorrect.
God's sake. I'll go with Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Ooh, incorrect.
Thierry Henry.
You almost made the list. Thierry Henry is right, yeah.
Nice.
Luis Suarez.
That's right, yeah. That's 5.
Drogba?
Ooh.
Shout.
Drogba is not right.
That was a good.
So it's going to be
Um,
someone obscure, I think.
Yeah, Matty Phillips.
Oh, Incorrect.
Was his name? Was his first name Matty?
No, you're thinking of Kevin, man.
Kevin Phillips. Sorry,
Matty
Kevin
Phillips.
Phillips. My bad. Getting him mixed up.
That's the Scottish lad.
Anyways, Darren, go on.
Oh God, I'm trying to think of Bergkamp. No,
Incorrect.
Nwankwa no Kanu or whatever he was called.
No.
Cillian?
Pass.
Van Persie.
Nope.
Oh,
You have 1 minute left.
Ryan Giggs.
Giggsy? Nope.
Andy Cole.
Nope. But Andy Cole almost made the list.
Cillian.
Oh, I know one.
Ashley Young?
Nope. That would be outrageous.
I love you, man.
People.
Imagine.
I am not sure at all. I'm going to pass that one.
Go on, Darren.
Lee Sheringham.
Incorrect.
Nicholas Anelka.
Incorrect. Quickly, Cillian.
Sanya, or whatever his name was.
Oh god.
Zachary Banya, no.
Sick.
Zachary Banya. He's a right back.
Unbelievable.
No, the Arsenal player.
Yeah.
No, wait, Mo Salah.
Salah, incorrect. That's time as well, lads.
Ah,
Jeez.
many
mate,
was there?
that was a
3?
tough one.
So you got 5. You missed out on 3. Pretty easy
Harry-
ones as well.
Give us the
Harry
names
Kane,
of
one
the
of
team.
them?
Harry Kane, yeah.
Harry
You
Kane,
missed
yeah.
out. You didn't say Harry Kane.
What
we
teams
were
did the
looking
other two
too
play
far
for?
back.
The other two played for. I'm just going to tell you because it doesn't say. And they played on a few teams. Michael Owen, he
Oh,
got
yeah.
eight hat tricks in his career, and so did. And Robbie Fowler was the other one.
Robbie Fowler, yeah.
Robbie
How many
Fowler.
did Andy Cole have? I knew he'd be up there.
Andy Cole had. He was like. Luis Suarez had 6, and Andy Cole was next with a few on 5.
Nice.
He had 5. Sterling has 5. Ian Wright, Van Persie, Berbatov, Van Nistelrooy, all them had 5. So very good, very close.
That was a good one. Thank you,
Yeah.
Patrick. So yeah, no, just to finish off, I'll just plug the socials, I suppose. If you have any questions, team suggestions, anything to do with fantasy football, please feel free to email us on -4pod@gmail.com. That's -4pod with the number 4 rather than the word 4. And then we're going to get the YouTube set up very soon as well, and that's also called the -4 FPL podcast. So if we can, give the podcast a rating on whatever platform you watch it on, would be very, very appreciative. And until next week, I suppose. Thanks very much, and best of luck for game week 9. Thanks, lads, for joining me. Have a good one. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.